advised, UAV is bingo fuel.
Got a personal radar drone ready. 10 seconds.
Fuck off.
UAV on station.
Jaguar 3-0, personal radar is bingo fuel. Recall.
Yo guys, what is going on? It's Lukey here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be focusing on how to make the M13 into the Peacekeeper. Now, if you guys remember back from Black Ops 2, the Peacekeeper was a DLC weapon and it was a pretty good weapon, so I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make it in Modern Warfare. Now, I want to give credit to Alpha for actually making this class up. His link will be in the description down below. He is the one who actually made this class up. I saw him post it on Twitter and I thought I'd go ahead and give it a go. And I must say, it is absolutely amazing. It's such a nice class to use. But anyway, the first attachment is going to be the Temper Cyclone attachment. This increases the bullet velocity and the sound suppression of the weapon, so it's actually a really good attachment. Next up is going to be the M13 Skeleton Stock. This attachment here is kind of just for looks, just to make it look more like the Peacekeeper, but it's actually probably the attachment that I would actually use myself because it increases the mobility up by quite a lot. If you look at the stats on this weapon, all of the stats are pretty much really high and all near enough the same. Next up, Stipple Grip Tape to increase the mobility just a little bit more, but yeah, if you do look at the stats once again there, so the accuracy is really high, the damage is really high, the range is high, the fire rate is nice. The fire rate on this weapon is probably one of my favourite things about it. The mobility is the lowest factor of this weapon, but still the mobility on this weapon is actually really high, I think anyway. It doesn't really feel like it has a low mobility in my opinion, but yeah, the control is the next one, and as you can see, they are all pretty much level in terms of how good they are, and that is why this weapon is so good, because it's got a really nice accuracy and the range is also really nice. The damage and fire rate combined together as well are also really good. So this weapon is honestly probably one of the best weapons in the game at the moment. Trust me, give it a go. It's also really good for Warzone as well. I do have a separate Warzone class if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. But yeah, next up is the extended mags and then a Commando foregrip. Once again, the Commando foregrip is kind of just for looks, but this increases the recoil stabilization and the aiming stability anyway, so it's probably one of the best foregrips you can use, just because it does increase the accuracy and control by quite a lot. So I do recommend you guys sticking that attachment on. Now, like I said before, this is not my class, this is actually Alpha's class. If you guys don't know who he is another Call of Duty YouTuber, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe to him. But as you can see from this bit here, it does actually really like, it looks like the Peacekeeper so much if you do remember what the Peacekeeper looked like. Now, the only difference to the looks is going to be the iron sights. These iron sights on this weapon is a little bit different to how the Peacekeeper iron sights used to be, but still, it is an insanely good weapon to use, and this class is probably actually one of my favourite M13 classes to use on public matches. So, if you guys are now going to click off the video because you've seen the class set up, then before you do so, if you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. It would really make my day. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers, so every single sub is much appreciated. But anyway, let's just talk about why this weapon is really good. So first up, the iron sights. The iron sights are really nice. They're really easy to use. They're super clean, and you can kill people at basically any range with these iron sights. And also with these iron sights, it also has a really good accuracy and fire rate and damage. So like, all of these things combined honestly just make for one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. So like I said before, the accuracy, the damage, the range, all of that kind of stuff is basically all level in terms of stats, and all of them combined just make for one of the best weapons ever. You can use this weapon for long range kills, you can use it on big maps, you can use this weapon as an SMG. That is basically how I treat this weapon. Whenever I use this weapon, I treat it literally like I would with an SMG, but you can also treat it like an assault rifle, which is why I just absolutely love this weapon. It's super versatile on any map at all. You can play ground war, you can play shipment, you can play shoot house, you can play literally any game mode at all, any map at all, and this weapon will still dominate the game. So Unlike other weapons such as like the MP7 and stuff like that, if you use an MP7 on ground war, you're probably not going to do very well. If you use an MP7 on a big map, then you're probably not really going to do the best. But this weapon here, like, it's really good on basically any map and basically any range. So that is probably one of the main reasons I love it. And like I said, this weapon has insanely good accuracy, and it also has a pretty high damage and also has a very fast fire rate. It's one of the fastest fire rate assault rifles in the game, but usually when we have a fast fire rate on a weapon, usually the damage is quite low. For example, on the MP7, the fire rate is really fast, but with the fast fire rate, the damage is actually decreased. Now this is just to balance it out a bit more, because obviously if you have a super fast fire rate weapon that also has a high damage, then it's going to be a bit too overpowered. So but with this weapon, for some reason, that isn't the case. You have a really high fire rate, and you also have a really nice, accurate, high damage weapon. So that is probably one of the main reasons that I do love this weapon as well. Now when you do use this weapon, I recommend you guys matching it with something like Dead Silence. Dead Silence and this weapon combined, honestly, it's so fun. It's super easy to get those kills. It's really fun as well. So I recommend you guys using Dead Silence. If you aren't using Dead Silence, by the way, I literally use Dead Silence on basically all of my classes, and you will see me use it quite a lot in my gameplays, and every single time I do use it, I pop it, and when I do pop it, I get a bunch of kills. As you guys can see here, I throw the C4, I come in here, I get one kill, and then somehow I kill that second person, I have no idea how, kill the third person, and then I kill the last person here. And it's super easy for clearing out like those big clumps of enemies as well. If you do rush into their spawn and all of a sudden there's like 3 or 4 enemies there, you should have no problem at all with trying to kill them. So for example, on some of the other assault rifles such as like the Odin and stuff like that, a big disadvantage to using those assault rifles is the fact that you can't get that many bullets in it, and that is the same as the Scar as well. But with this weapon, and such as like the M4A1 etc. and the Kilo, you can have a lot of bullets in it. So in the magazines on this weapon, I have 60 rounds in the magazine, which is really good, because I can kill a lot of people in one magazine and I will have no problem at all. And that is another thing I've loved about this weapon. The ammo size is super handy, so if you do come up against a bunch of enemies, this weapon is not going to let you down. You'll be able to kill pretty much all of them with one mag, and you'll have no problem at all. Now this weapon has probably been one of my favourite weapons ever since the beta. It's the first weapon I actually got my first ever nuke in this game with, which was in the beta, and ever since then I've absolutely loved this weapon. Now honestly, this weapon can outcompete with all of the other assault rifles, so a lot of people probably prefer the M4A1 over this weapon, but in my opinion, I think I actually prefer the M13. Now that might be an unpopular opinion, a lot of people have different views obviously, but just like that, for example, that guy was pretty far away and I managed to kill him really easily in just about 4 shots or so across the map. There was literally no recoil, I hit every single one of my shots, and that is one of the main reasons I just love this weapon. It's probably one of the most accurate assault rifles you can use. It has hardly any recoil, it's got super high accuracy, super high damage, and all of that. So all of them combined is just one of the best weapons ever. Now when using this weapon, I recommend using it like just how you want really. You can use it as an SMG, you can use it as an assault rifle, but it really does like shine in those kind of medium long gunfights. So in a medium gunfight, it's just like there, as you can see, you can kill them super easily. The fire rate is really good, but also at close ranges you're going to have no problem at all, because the fire rate is super quick. So at close ranges it kind of acts like an SMG, but at long ranges it still acts like an assault rifle. So that is why I love this weapon. Anyway, that has been it for today's video, so thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm getting close to 20,000 subscribers, so every single sub would be much appreciated. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.